you're focused on fundamentals and you have a live drilling, it's a non-existent. It's not a problem. You're going to be able to cater to everybody, and the core of the art stays solid. But it must be there must. I guess my broader point is there must be something in us that seeks to codify. I can't think of a better word for it right now, but to preserve things when when we're afraid that they're going to get lost in a manner that's not fully alive. I think it must
Well,
be
you
a tendency. Must be such a common occurrence, because I do believe that's what's happened to just about every traditional martial art along the way.
were they codified after, or were they always codified?
I think a great deal of them were always that way, because I think the vast majority of them are fairly recent and it's a con job from the very beginning. But
Okay.
if we want to give some the benefit of the doubt and say, as Burton did, Burton said, well, he believed strongly that back in the day, CLOT was actually functional, and of course, if it was functional, it would look like something like MMA. And he said, yes, I have a video of it. And he sent it to me, and my comment back to him was, yeah, it was a video from the turn of the century, or late 1800s, I think, of guys in Burma doing some form of silat, and it looks like bad MMA. It just looks like when you play spar with a little bit of Muay Thai, which is, of course, what I would expect it to look like, right?
So that's, they have competitions now, and
Yeah,
that is basically what it looks like. And it appears to me, although I don't know the rules, it appears to me that they are slap fighting
yeah,
until one can do one of these final moves. Like, I don't know what they're called, but it looks like, you know, they're gonna they're slap fighting, they're moving with bad MMA and bad distance management and things until one of them can do like almost like a flying scissor lock
yeah,
thing, and then they stop it,
right.
and then I guess that guy wins. So it's like they're doing, that's how they can say that those things work in an MMA context, but they're cheating
Right,
because neither guy is really doing MMA.
right,
Because if they were, they wouldn't be that close to each other.
sure. But back to what I was saying. There probably was a few systems that were like that, that were actually functional and then become codified
Okay.
way in if we give them the benefit of the doubt and say at least one or two of them, that is of course always the story. Well, they used to be functional. I don't even think you I think Wing my personal opinion, for example, of Wing Chun was it was just bad British boxing. They had some British sailors that rolled into port and beat the crap out of everybody, and had the you can look at a lot of what they do and it looks like just like that, and then they just messed it up with some silly forms.
Well, and if that's where you were at 1900,
Right.
then you should not assume that it would evolve in a manner that we have not found now.
Right.
Like that, if those people had stayed isolated, that they would have some super system.
Right.
No, odds are, if those systems were to survive, they would have evolved into what is being done now.
Yeah. Isn't it
You know,
interesting too that how often people assume that because something's been around for a long time, it must be super valuable or good. It's just a
it's like the
default assumption that I think a lot of people have.
it's like the martial arts equivalent to the naturalistic fallacy.
It is, yeah. And I'll remind them that the fact that something's been around for a long time means it's good at replication, but it doesn't mean it's good for us. Astrology's been around for thousands of years. But that's just such a common fallacy that I think people assume that as well.